Amiee said, listen, man, I don't fucking know who you are, and if this is a scam, I'm gonna find where you live and I'm gonna kill you. And that is Amiee, basically, in a nutshell.
So I figured I'd take you back in time a little bit and tell you a little bit about my story. So, August 2005, right? I have 2 kids under the age of 3. My marriage is in shambles to my high school sweetheart, and which wouldn't have been the worst part of the story until he drained my bank account and left me with nothing. And so I had to do the one thing that nobody wants to do, is call mom and say, Mom, I gotta come home with my 2 kids in tow, and yeah, I don't have a job, and I need help. I thought it was really bad. I sat on the sofa, and I vividly remember just sitting there, and I'm looking at my kids, and I gotta figure this out. I have these 2 kids who are 100% dependent on everything that I do. They need shelter. They need love. They need a roof over their head. They need somebody to feed them, and there's nobody else to do it, so I got to figure this out. Now, why me? Why did this happen to me? About a week later, Katrina hit. And so I'm living in a modest 2,000 square foot home with my mom and dad and my 2 kids, and it's fine. We have an extra bedroom. But then my whole family loses their homes. So now everybody else comes into this modest 2,000 square foot house, and we have 10 adults, 2 kids, 4 dogs, 2 senior citizens, 1 who has dementia and loses his dentures everywhere, which is totally not good, by the way, with 2 toddlers and 4 dogs. And so you start looking around and thinking about, man, I thought I had it bad. My aunt and uncle lost the house that they lived in all their life. My cousin lost his job because he couldn't go back to work. My grandparents lost their son. And you know, it just changes your whole perspective. So when you're thinking about, you know, the struggles that people have, y'all, we all have shit that happens. Bad stuff happens to all of us. So when you're sitting there and you're making excuses for yourself as to why you can't make this work, why you can't get to $10,000 a month, why my funnel's broken, why I can't get leads in the door. Y'all, we've all had that. We've all had bad times, but guess what? Regardless of how much money we make, of what's happened to you, I still get up every day. I put my pants on one leg at a time, just like everybody else does. And there's one great equalizer. We all have 24 hours in the day. And it's what you do with those 24 hours that's gonna make the difference. The problem that most people have is that you can't effectively manage your time. So, you know, we get in this business and we start these companies because we want more freedom and we want more money and we want to be able to enjoy life. And what winds up happening is that we end up just building another job for ourselves. You know, we're running around, we're putting out fires, we're doing all these things, and we're still trading dollars for hours. And it's a huge problem. So what you need to do is start maximizing the time that you have in your day. And that's what I realized over the course of, 15 years working for these big companies. James asked me when we were on the phone one day, he said, hey, I need to do your introduction, or what is your speech going to be about? What are you really good at? And so I started thinking about it. What I've gotten really good at over the course of these last 10 or so years are systems and monetizing what's already in place. So I say systems in terms of not only your processes and procedures that you have in your business, but also the way that you're selling. So here's the key. A lot of times what we're doing is we're selling tactically, right? So we're going in and we're saying, I can do Facebook ads for you. I can do SEO for you. I can build you a website. But the problem with that is you reduce the amount of money that you're getting from each client, right? Because you're selling tactics at this point. I can do reputation management for you. I'm going to charge you $200 a month. Well, what if, right, same client, you go to them and you say, hey, I'm going to sell you a lead generation system for $1,500 a month. Now it's going to include, 2 lead gen sites, and it's going to include Facebook ads, and we're going to bridge the gap so we can get leads coming in instantly. But the thing is, if you can start getting more money from each of these clients, instead of trying to sling out different services and just one-off these things, you're going to get a lot more effective because you're packaging your services. So it's going to become easier to scale, right? Because you're not doing these one-off sales anymore. You have this system, it's already built, And either you want it or you don't, because that's what I have. And that's when it comes back to choosing your clients, right? So are we working with the right people? So that's the second question that you have to ask yourself, because a lot of times what happens is you say, okay, well, I want to make more money, so I need to get 10 more clients. But the problem is you already have 5 shitty clients. So am I going to scale the shitty clients that I have and go get more of those that are going to call me every day, that are going to take up my time, that are going to make me work 80 hours a week? Or do I need to figure out the client problem that I'm having first and then scale that? So you almost have to reverse engineer some of the stuff that you're doing, and some of the direction that you think you need to go may not actually be the next steps that you need to take. It may be actually taking, 1 step back so you can take 2 steps forward and reassessing what you already have in place. 80% of the people that I sit down with will get into a monthly recurring revenue package at over $1,000 a month. And they're the clients that I want to work with. Why? Because they're already putting out money. I say it all the time. The biggest thing when you're looking at clients, don't go find people that you need to convince need to advertise their business. What you need to do is find the people who are already advertising on the billboards, on the TV, on the radio, because you don't have to convince them that they need to spend money on advertising. You just need to convince them that they need to spend it with you. So figure out the things that you're doing. Go kind of cradle to grave with it, and literally take a couple hours when you get back to your offices this week and figure out, what do I do? What does this whole customer journey look like? From prospecting to discovery, to making the sale, to now they're a client, to the back end. And figure out every little step you're doing and how you can charge for those. Because I promise you, people will pay. And some of this I learned from surrounding myself with smarter people than I am. Monetizing these things, making more money for the work that you're already doing. It's because I'm surrounding myself with the right people and investing in myself and being able to say, hey, you know what, that's a great idea. I can pay $10,000 to sit in a room with you if I just get one little nugget of information from it. If I can just get one piece that's going to make me that extra $36,000 a year, it's worth it.